Happy. You're like, is this like a real video or is this a vlog? Happy Tuesday. You're watching Peter Monn. Woo, woo, woo. I love to write songs. Do you get it? Anyway. I should have been a songwriter. I really should have. Well, I have some things I want to talk about from the post office. Oh my God, I have a postcard in there. Listen, I'm not going to even shut this off. You guys know how I am. Just hold on a second. Because I have the postcard. Where did I put the postcard of love? Oh my gosh, where did I put it? I just had it. Ah, here it is. So, okay. I'm going to do short versions of this. First of all, I want to say that Melissa, thank you so much. Melissa sent me The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 3/4 by Sue Townsend. And I just actually showed this on my BookTube haul video. So thank you, Melissa. You get a twofer. And then I got a postcard from Bunny. Thank you, Bunny. She said, I just want to let you know I read your book and I loved it. You got me reading. Oh, thank you so much. I love when people talk to me about reading my book, because I don't really, and everybody says they love it. So, if there are things about it that you don't like, that helps me too. I just want you to know. You don't have to say, oh, I loved everything about it. A lot of people back in the day would say, oh, I don't like this character, or I didn't like this character. And in fact, a lot of people did not like the main character, which is really funny. You got me reading again. I haven't in so long. I'm now on my 3rd book this summer because of you. Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm a pretty recent subscriber. And then she goes on to say some pretty personal things. Thank you so much, Bunny. That was so sweet. Okay. And then, oh my God. I got this really, here, I haven't opened it yet because I read the letter, which basically details everything. So I got this box from Caroline. And then Caroline gave me this long letter typed, beautifully, where she goes in here and she explains everything that she gave me. So I have read the letter. Caroline, I am not going to reread your letter. It means so much to me, especially the first part. She talks in there about how in 1990 she met one of her very best friends who was a hippie and kind of their experience and how she was going to buy me her book, and she gave my book to her, and then she read my book and she said she fell in love with me all over again. You guys, it just touches my heart, when people say that about me. I never in a million years would have thought that even 100 people would read my book, and now I think I talked to my publisher the other day and it's thousands. And so that's just incredible to me, And it's not my best work and it's not my worst work, but my next 2 books, I'm really super excited about. So thank you. So she in here, a couple things she said was, vitamin D gummies, they're in here somewhere, because when I come back from vacation, I always seem rather blue. Yeah, I have a hard time with re-entry, I will admit that. And then she gave me a blue container in here somewhere because she loves, and she gave me we actually, 3 blocks from us, we have a container store. She gave me a catalog for the container store because I always talk about needing to clean out my basement and the drawers and all that kind of stuff. And then she made Alex and I friendship bracelets that are matching and have P's and A's on them. So this is just absolutely incredible. And then water bottles that were left over at her work, she said, because she knew that we had talked about liking Swell water bottles. And then there's a blue fan in here, and she said, doesn't need an explanation, right? Does it? LOL. And then milk bones for the dog, she said. So thank you, Caroline. This was incredible. I opened this box, and I was just like, oh my God, what is this? So I am just going to open all of this and show you guys as I open it. People seem to really like these openings. Do you like the P.O. box openings? Do you not? I kind of feel bad at this point if I get something and I don't show it on camera. So you guys, let me know in the comment section below. If you do not like the openings, then I won't do it anymore. I think this might be the gummies. It is the gummies. Thank you, Caroline, for the gummies. Sealed wrap, so I know she's not trying to poison me. Sealed wrap. Thank you, Caroline. What should I open next? I'm like, it's like my birthday all over again. I have a feeling this is the dog treats. Dog vitamin bones, milk bones, she said. Watch, PP will be right down here if this is the case. It is Milk Bone Good Morning vitamins. I need those, so that is awesome. This is so sweet. Oh my God. Okay. open this one next. Do you ever do that at birthday parties? I'll open this one next. And you go, oh, I think it's a wand. I need a magician's wand. Oh, no, this is going to be the fan, I bet. But I don't really like when people guess what their birthday presents are, because then they guess them. Like I just did. Say I just guessed it was a fan. And then it kind of just ruins it, right? I mean, it ruins the gift, because then we all know what it is, right? I think that ruins it. Beast! Beast! You got to get your shoulder into it. Beast! I am nuts. Anyway, okay. Somebody is like watching this vlog for the very first time is like, what is going on? Who is this crazy person? I'm crazy. I am. I'm a weirdo and I don't care. Life's short. Be yourself. Have fun. What is this? Oh my God. Shit, what do you think about this in here? She got me these sticker notes. Okay, let me tell you, I am going through Post-it notes like crazy, and these are actually perfect this size. Because one of the things I've recently done, I haven't even talked about this on BookTube because it's so stupid, why would I? But like, I wish I could, well here, I'll show you. 1 second, please. You guys are like, there's a lot of pauses in this video today. So I'm reading so many books that I keep on losing my place when I'm reading. Oh! I keep on losing my place, like where I'm reading. Do you see, like no lie, see I told you Post-it note. So what I'm doing is, I'm using a Post-it note as a bookmark. People are like, probably like, Peter, we've been doing that for years. And so like, I literally, like if this is the paragraph that I ended on, then I move it and I put it like right below there. So I know exactly where I'm at. And this is The Summer That Melted Everything by Tiffany McDaniel that I'm reading. Okay. So thank you for those little Post-it notes. I mean, what is this? Oh, she gave me, I don't want to show the address on it, but this is cool. So it's like this little picture thing, and it has this fish in it, and it's from the place that she works. Oh my God, I love that. I love, that's going in my office. I love little stuff like that. Okay. I think it's Puzzle of the Pyramids. Oh my God, she put little stickers on it and everything. How cute is that? Aww. She gave me a little container from Container Store. Oh, Caroline. She didn't put this in the letter, I don't think. Well, I see a gift card in here, and she did not need to do this. Oh my God, she gave us a... Caroline, thank you so much. And if you guys don't know what you don't know, Caroline is Storytime Marie. And she like comments on all my videos, and she's always in my You Now stream and stuff like that. So thank you for the wonderful little box, a gift card for $25. That is incredible. And then she made, oh my God, she made these 2 friendship bracelets. And look, this one has a P on it, and this one has an A on it for Alex and I. And she said they're anniversary gifts. And so we're supposed to wear them. I might wear mine as an anklet. Is that okay, Caroline? So, because Alex and I are big on anklets. Those are amazing. She said they took her longer than she thought they would. They're gorgeous. I love them. Thank you so much. Do you see? I love homemade gifts. That would make my mother cry. My mother loved homemade gifts. Oh my God, here's, oh, it's a bottle just like the one that I have. Oh, it's red, oh my God. It's a red like Swell bottle. That is so cool. Caroline, you did too much. You guys are so wonderful to me. Thank you, Caroline. Caroline's my cousin's name. I love that name. A blue one and a red one. Well, I'm going to take the blue one, of course, because that's my favorite color. Why would that not be? I'm not stupid. Okay, and then the last thing I'm so excited about is her friend's book. What if I opened it and it was like some super famous book, and then I was like, that's your best friend. Can you put me in contact with her, please? Wouldn't that be crazy? And it's called Free by Lisa Littberg. Oh, I love the cover of it. It's got a little VW van. Since leaving home at the age of 18, Free has traveled the country, I like that name, trying to find a place to call home. Her travels afford a variety of experiences, from following the Grateful Dead, I did that, to waitressing in Chicago, to selling jewelry in New Orleans French Market, but nothing seems to quell her sense of unrest. All the while, her estranged brother Alfie is in her thoughts. Once she finds him, perhaps she'll find her place. But can she avoid the snares of drugs and depravity long enough to do so? Oh, I love that. And here she is in the back. Why did she highlight this part, I wonder? Anyway. So thank you so much. Caroline, all of this is so nice. Because I like go down there on how fat I am. Oh my God, this is incredible. So thank you so much. And never forget, boost! Boost! I have to practice that a little bit more. Anyway, I'm going to go. I have one more video to make today. I'm uploading my videos. And then I will be back later. Love you guys. Bye. Okay, here are some problems. First of all, it is hot as shit out. It says it's only 75, but it literally feels like it's 90. It's so humid. And then I'm wide awake, and it is 1:59 a.m. It's exactly 2 o'clock in the morning. And I haven't eaten today. And I need gas. And gas went up in Indianapolis today, but the gas station I get it at sometimes, like if I get it, I still get it for like what it was the day before. So we're gonna go there and I'm gonna see if I can get it for cheap. And I have the heat on. I have no idea why. I think I was trying to defrost my windows earlier. You know, I was thinking about this earlier. It's like the last 2 days, like, I've done like some really funny videos. Like, I'm really proud of them. Like, if I watch a video of mine back, because typically I don't laugh. If I watch a video of mine back and I laugh, then I'm like, okay, that was some funny shit. And like, I don't have a problem admitting that, right? Like, you know, not to be boastful or proud, but I'm like, okay, like, I liked that story. Like, I told a story time about Misty in my, you know, Slate and Sister videos today. That like minute or two, I thought was like, I really liked that. I was like, that's some of the best video I've ever done. And I was like, you know, if I could do more of that, I would be really happy. But I was like, you know, like people ask me a lot. They're like, when you were growing up, were you like the court jester? Were you like the funny one? And I wasn't. Like, I just wasn't. I was very shy. I was very introverted. I still am. But like, if I'm with friends or something, like, I am very much a storyteller, and I am very much, you know, like, being funny and all that kind of stuff. So I guess I would say it depends on the situation. It depends on my comfort level of who I'm around. You know, the quick wit, I think I get from my dad. He's extremely quick-witted. But I think that humor is a defense. And, you know, if I was honest, I think my way of dealing with things in the world is through humor, you know, and making fun of the ridiculousness that I see, but also laughing at it and myself allows me, it's like so healthy for me, you know. I don't know. It's like, you know, like I think about the things that like really get me through the day. People are like, wait, how do you just keep on going? And, you know, I think humor is one of those big things to me, you know, like all of my friends are very real. You know, it's interesting when I think about my friends right now. Like, okay, so Tanya's my best friend, and then Melissa is my other really good friend, but I don't see Melissa a lot. Like, maybe once every 2 weeks. We talk on the phone, like, once a week, something like that, but I don't see her a lot. We're more of, like, couple friends, if that makes sense. Tanya is, like, my diehard Judy that I see every day. And, which is funny because Melissa literally lives like a block from me. And then Dustin Daly, the YouTuber, who, you know, we used to have our not get along, and now we're like, we talk every night on the phone. And, you know, it's interesting because all three of them are people that have the ability to have very real, honest, and genuine conversations, but then the next second be extremely funny too. You know, like, especially with Tanya, like, okay, Melissa is funny a lot. Like, I mean, Melissa just is a funny person. And she's very much like, if it gets emotional, she doesn't love the emotions. But like Tanya and Dustin can be very emotional, which I don't know if that reads on his videos, and you guys probably know him, but like Tanya is very much like me. I mean, we can either be having like a deep conversation where we're sobbing, or we can be laughing our asses off to the point of crying, where like, and with Dustin and I, it's very much like just this constant like shade and reading that goes back and forth. It's hilarious. And, you know, I have to say, I haven't had another gay friend. Am I outing him? I mean, he has a boyfriend. I haven't had another gay friend in a long time, and it's really nice, you know, that like we have the same kind of like gay sense of humor, so to speak. And I miss that a little. I like looked over there, I was like, oh, there's a dollar bill. And that was like Tanya had left it there for the meeting tomorrow night. But like, I miss that sometimes, you know, like that, just that hilarious camaraderie, you know, where I'll be like if I just even read you guys our texts, you would die, because it's just, it's constant shade and reading, you know, but like in a humorous, funny way. But then, you know, like there have been many nights that I've called him and I'm just like, I'm having a really dark night tonight, like I need to talk. And it's way past, I mean, he stays up super late, so like Tanya, she isn't up that late, or I would call her. But Dustin's been like such a genuine friend to me, you know, and he's just been like, hey, you know, like, hey, just talk to me, what's going on? And I think it's really hard to find those people as friends, you know, that like, I don't know, all three of them, I feel so, I don't need 15 friends. I feel so blessed to have them in my life for different reasons, but really, all three of them would be there for me anytime I needed them. You know, logistically with Dustin, I mean, he lives, you know, 4 states away or something, but Melissa and Tanya would be there for me in a heartbeat, no matter what was going on. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that, like, I don't keep from you guys, but I don't talk about on here. You know, family stuff. It's the stuff that's not my place to talk about. You know, and some of it may be more revealed than others, and, you know, people's medical issues I'm not going to talk about on here. I'm just not, you know, it's not my place to talk about that. But that doesn't mean that I'm not affected by it. I don't know if I can explain this to you, but like with my aunt, it was different because my aunt was my mom's only sister and we were so close that I was directly affected by it. But like, let's say if it was like, I want to pick something really safe. Well, let's say if I was talking about like Tanya's sister, she doesn't have a sister, so I can use that, that's safe, right? Like I wouldn't tell that story on here because it's not my place to tell Tanya's story. But, and I have to, you know, I have to be, you know, honor other people's privacy. But let's say if I knew Tanya's sister really, really well, you know, and I was really affected by it. So there are things that happen with me, or that, this is like rather strange what's going on over here, but there are things that happen to me or that I'm affected by it emotionally that like I can't talk about in videos because I'm trying to be, you know, honorable and protect other people's privacy. Does that make sense? Even my husband at times, things to do with his family. So, or friends of his, you know, but they also affect me. And so I think sometimes people read into that and they'll be like, oh, you're in a really bad mood today. And it's like, no, I'm not really in a bad mood. It's just like, if I could say to you like, oh, I'm concerned about this or I'm worried about that. But like, if I was in a really bad mood, I would get on camera and I would say, I'm in a really bad mood today. You know, like I don't have a problem doing that. Or, you know, if Alex and I got into a fight, I have no problem getting on the camera and being like, oh, we got this really shitty fight and blah, blah, blah. So it's hard because it's like, I always said that I was going to be this channel that was going to be 100% honest, but at the same time, it's like, well, how do I do that and protect other people as well? Does that make sense? And recently, I've had some stuff going on that I'm like, I can't talk about. It's not mine to talk about, you know? Like, it just isn't mine to talk about, even though I'm affected indirectly by it. I don't know if that makes sense. But, you know, and I think it's a good lesson in life, too. It's like, I think a lot of us, you know, are like, we want to make everybody else's issues our issues. You know, we want to, you know, I don't know, if it's just like all of a sudden we want to make other people's shit our own and go talk about it at work and, you know, talk about it with our friends. Can you believe this? And that we kind of crave drama to some degree like that. And this is so funny because this is what I do in my main channel, but in reality, it's really not our drama to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, if you're not in it, you know, be supportive of those other people, be strong for them, but you don't have to talk about it like it's yours, you know? It's like, I remember in high school, we had these 3 kids that were killed in a car accident. And like, this was my first experience with like contemporary death, you know, like contemporary meaning like somebody my own age. And I can remember like people in classrooms, like, you know, you see it in like TV shows now and like movies, and it's kind of like this joke, but like, I can remember like people like trying to like one up each other on who was better friends with them. And it was like, what? I mean, like, what? Like, we don't, like, does it matter? Like, I don't know. It's just sad, you know? So, anyway, I was thinking about that earlier, and I was showing Alex, like, the stuff that I had gotten, from Caroline, and I was showing him like the vitamin D stuff, and he goes, she said, I seem like I have a hard time when I come back. And he goes, well, you do. And I go, I know, I totally have a horrible time with re-entry. I do. Like, that's why, like, I like to go on long vacations, because it always takes me a day or two to get into it, and then a day or two to get back into the wind of things. But anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about tonight, but I think that humor is my way to get through all of that, you know? And it's like, and it's my way to help other people too, because like, if I have people that are going through some things, and I'm very much a realist, you know, like if somebody's going through something, I'm not the one that's going to tell them everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be fine, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to tell somebody that. If it does not look like it's going to turn out fine, I will be very supportive. There are a lot of things I will say, there are a lot of things I will do, but everything's going to be okay. It's not going to be one of the things I'm going to say, because I think that then we're giving you false hope. And, but I think to be a very real friend or family member and help that person laugh, whatever they're going through a little bit, you know? They don't have to laugh at what's going on, but they can laugh, you know? And that's really what I like doing, is I like taking people's minds off things or making people look at things in a different way. So many people commented today and said, thank you so much for your vlog that you did last night talking about addiction. It's such an important, like, you know, thing to talk about. And what's interesting to me about that, thank you for those comments, that meant a lot to me. But like, even when you live it, it's like you take it for granted a little bit over time, like not 30 days, 60 days, 2 years, but like over time. It's not like on a daily basis I really struggle with like, should I drink or should I not drink? Like, I haven't thought that thought in a long time, you know? And, I mean, I think if I ever think about anything that I would want to do, it's like, I mean, smoking weed is so, you know, rationalized right now that like, and I didn't suffer any consequences from smoking marijuana. It would be really easy for me to like rationalize that in my head. Well, you know, it's not drinking, but I smoked so much weed back in the day that there's just, I mean, listen, it's just, I would be a mess overnight, so I can't do it. You know, I smoked weed like I drank, and I drank like I smoke weed, and I take pills like I do both. So it's like, you know, and cocaine is all of it, and I just like more. I just don't want to feel, I didn't want to feel, and I like more. And today, I don't mind feeling. Today, I'm not afraid of feeling. Today, I like accept feelings as part of living, and I realize that living is having feelings about things, and being sad, and being happy, and being scared, and being joyous, and being, you know, apprehensive, and being ashamed, and being embarrassed, and all of that's okay. They're not right or wrong feelings, you know? They're just feelings. They're just responses to things that happen in our life. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel for people that are stuck in that today, you know? And it's like, I get a lot of people that want me to, this is not just tonight or recently, this is for the last 2 months, you know? speculate about, there's always some YouTuber, you know, 5 to 10 different YouTubers that people want me to speculate on about, like, do you think they're using drugs? Do you think this? Do you think that? And whatever. And it's like, oh, what do you, and I'm like, you should do a video about it. I would never do a video talking about somebody's mental health or drug addiction issues, assuming it, wondering about it, passing judgment on it, anything. If anything, if I thought they needed help, I would reach out to them, even if I didn't know the person, and I didn't, you know, and like people ask me, like, they were like, reach out to, like, you know, Charlie, the vegan cheetah. So I did, and he was very thankful for that. And that was kind of like, you know, how our friendship started, you know, like back in the day. And I don't love everything that he does, but he understands that if he needs somebody to talk to about addiction stuff, I'm here for him. I made that very clear, you know. We don't have to love each other, but I can help you. You know, I don't have to like everything that you do, and I don't have to agree with everything that you do, but like, I'm here for you. I know how hard it is to be in front of a camera and talk about your addiction. And I take that stuff very seriously. It's no bullshit. It's life or death to me. It is literally life or death. And my recovery is a gift. There are some people that will never be exposed to recovery. They will never be exposed to sobriety or a 12-step program or grace or, you know, peace in their life. And they won't. They'll just live in chaos until they eventually die, and they'll leave a wake of sadness around them. And it breaks my heart, you know, and I would never want to be part of that negativity. You know, I would only want to be part of, you know, I'm like in my head, like deciding if I want to say this or not. So, I mean, I can say it. It's not a secret text, but, you know, in the basic text of Alcoholics Anonymous, it says in there at the end of page 164, it says, talks about trudging the road of happy destiny. And, and we'll surely meet you along its way. And I remember reading that, you know, when I was in treatment. Trudging the road of happy destiny. I can remember reading that line, and I thought to myself, and I've also read the NA text and the CA text and the OA text and the GA. I've read them all. The Narcotics Anonymous text, and I've read Overeaters Anonymous and Cocaine, which is called Hope, Faith, and Courage. And I've read all the stories, but I remember reading that line, and, you know, and it's like different literature for different people affects them, and recovery literature. And I can remember reading that line. We will surely meet as we trudge the road of happy destiny. And I thought, like, what has happened? Like, how did I get so far off, you know? And like, I actually saw it in my life, like, as a road, like going like in the desert towards like Vegas. And I had like gone off the road somewhere. Like, I lost myself, you know, in these brambles, and I was no longer trudging the road of happy destiny. And to me, that almost equated innocence. And it was like I had lost my innocence. And it was like, do you know how I felt at the end? I felt like, and this is not me passing judgment, honestly, on anybody, but like, you know, the person that like goes and like is extremely promiscuous and sleeps with all these people, and they're very proud of it when they do it, but then they have that moment where they're like, they slut shame themselves, and everybody else has slut shamed them too, and they feel dirty and they feel gross, and they just want it off of them. And then they start talking about how like they're re-virginizing themselves, and they'll be like a virgin again, you know, they're gonna be celibate and all this kind of stuff, and it's just all at this expense to like get all of that off of them. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I felt so dirty and so gross. Like, I can remember thinking to myself, what happened to that little kid? You know, like, what happened to him? And then, like, to think about me, like, at 12 years old, getting drunk in my own bedroom at my dad's house, you know, because, like, what? I didn't want to deal with the fact that I was gay. That I was so scared of what people would think about me because I might like another guy. I might, God forbid, I have a crush on somebody human, you know, that... And I think that's a lot of it for me. You know, I think genetically I'm probably bound with addiction, but then God, people are going to be like, you're talking about this every night. I know. I don't know why recently. It's just been, I've had a lot of drugs and alcohol affecting people's lives around me recently in sad ways. And I just can't ignore it, you know? And then when you live such a blessed life, as a result of that, it's really hard. But it's not hard to stay grateful. It's hard to see and be like, I wish I could give you what I have, you know? But like, I used to tell this to my mom and she didn't like it. I do believe that I had to go through everything I went through. I do believe that I had to drink every drink I drank, smoke every blunt, I never smoked blunts. They weren't out when I smoked. If they were, I didn't know about them. Smoke every joint, take every pill, snort every line of cocaine. I think that had to happen for me to have the life I have today. I really do believe that. I think it could have stopped earlier for me, like a lot earlier. You know, I was exposed to treatment and 12-step programs when I was 16 years old. It didn't have to go on until I was 22. And I think that was one of the things that really made a deciding factor for me, was when somebody said to me, don't end up like one of us 50-year-olds that have been in and out of treatment programs for 20 years. If it's really a problem for you, be honest with yourself. Deal with it now. And like, I was able to be honest with myself. I had enough clarity of mind that I was able to be honest with myself and say, you're fucked up. Like, this is a problem. And you are going to be like one of these people coming in and out of here until you're 50 years old if you don't get this shit together. Look at your mom. You know? But like in my head, I excused a lot of her behavior too. I used to always want to write a book called Pretty Drinker and talk about my mom. I've talked about that on here before. I mean, she didn't look like, you know, and I love those posters that you see in treatment programs and they say like, this is what an addict looks like. And there's like 20 pictures on there and everybody looks completely different. I mean, there is no look to an addict. But in my head, as an alcoholic and an addict, I would still say to myself, but she doesn't look like an alcoholic. She looks pretty. She looks like a nice mom, you know? She doesn't look like somebody sitting on the street corner with a brown bottle in a bag, you know? I mean, she just doesn't. Well, she wasn't. But she was just as hardcore of an alcoholic as the rest of them. Her consequences were different. Her choices were different, you know? And, but I wish she had gotten it sooner, you know? And she got it at 51 and she had an amazing life from that point on. How did this go from me using humor to get through shit to all the way back here again? I don't know. I think seeing that guy last night at the meeting, like, really, like, messed with me a little bit. All day long I've been thinking about like the last 22 years of my life and like, okay, so what have you done for the last 22 years? Like, what are you proud of? And like, I got sober, which I'm really proud of. I finished college and got 2 degrees. You know, one in English. I got a bachelor's in art, you know, anyway, it doesn't matter. I got 2 degrees. I went and got my master's degree in social work. I worked in a treatment facility for 13 years and I started as a tech and I worked myself up all the way to the highest paid counselor they had ever had. Loved that job. I worked for the Department of Corrections. I worked for an elementary school. I've spoken all over the Midwest about addiction, telling my own story and telling other stories to schools, to high schools, to conventions, to all kinds of things. I've been blessed to work with so many people and so many kids. I've written a novel. I've been in 3 incredible relationships. I'm married. I have in-laws that are like beyond unbelievably awesome. You know, I have a dad and my stepmom that I know care a lot about me. You know, I have an extended family with my cousin and my uncle and her family that I know love me. It's just, you know, on and on and on. And I have so many things that I should be so blessed for. And yet that addict kicks in and I want more and more and more and more and more. But I think, you know, it's that I can look at that and I can go, wow, you have a really blessed life. And for me, it all begins and ends with my addiction. Because if I am not sober, I don't have any of those things. They all go away. You know, I'll still have the master's degree. I'll still have the undergraduate degree. I'll still have that I wrote the book. But they won't mean a whole lot, right? Like, nobody's going to hire me if I'm snorting cocaine going into the interview. You know, let's just be for real. I don't know. And I'll be so far off that I won't care anyway. Because I know this about myself. If I ever go back out there and I start using again, I've sat at this gas station now for 23 minutes, haven't filled my tank. If I go back out there again, I probably won't come in. I mean, I would love to tell you that I would come back in and get sober again, but I don't know. I just don't, you know? I think it's a death sentence. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I never pick up, because I'm so terrified of what would happen if I did. It's life or death to me. And if you know somebody out there that it's life or death to them too, please do something about it. Please get them some help. This last week, I've gotten a lot of people that have contacted me about finding counselors, finding treatment programs. You know, if you Google treatment programs in your area, there should be several. Read the reviews. See if they're JACO approved. You know, counselors, get on the Psychology Today website, psychologytoday.com. Put in there is find a therapist, put your zip code in, and then it'll pull up all kinds of therapists, counselors, life coaches, whatever you want, passions coach, whatever in that area. And then just go through and read them until you find somebody that fits you, you know? And if it's an issue that you feel more comfortable talking to a man or a woman about, let that be the decider, or older or younger or whatever, you know? Look at their fees. Do they take insurance? Do they not take insurance? What are their qualifications, you know? But get some help. And if you can't do that, then just talk to somebody, you know? Find somebody that you trust, a friend, and then ask that person, can you help me get help? Because I can't do it on my own. I'm too afraid, too scared, you know? I had to be pushed into every healthy decision that I made. Isn't that crazy? Because I don't trust myself and I don't believe in myself. So I had to be pushed into every decision that I made. You know, whether it, like, getting my master's degree, I had to be pushed into that. Getting sober, I had to be pushed into that. I sure as shit didn't want to be there. Listen, I mean, my dad looked at me and said jail, or he said prison, or because I had 2 Class D felonies I had talked down, you know, or pleaded down. Prison or treatment. Well, I was no idiot. I knew what to do. You know, all of the healthy choices in my life, I had to be pushed into. So, I don't know. But, you know, aren't all of our lives life or death? Aren't all the choices that we make to some degree life or death? You know, like, and if they're not, then aren't they all, what does your life speak of? What do you want your life to speak of? What do you want your life to be about? You don't have to be an addict or an alcoholic to look at your life and say, what have I done with my life? What do I want it to speak of? Who do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be remembered as? You know, because I don't think that means we're focusing on our death. I think that means we're focusing on our living. If we're asking ourselves, how do we want to be remembered? Who do I want to be? And forcing ourselves to act that way. We're all going to make mistakes. We're not going to be that person every day. Forgiving ourselves and getting up the next day and saying, okay, I'm going to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday. So, I think that's all I have for today. God, that turned into kind of a sad vlog, didn't it? I don't know. I hope it helps a couple people out. Like I said yesterday, too, you know. Tomorrow's will be happier, I hope. I love you guys. Bye.